And what was the first big break that you remember after that?
Well, the sport is tough. It takes a lot of money to get through just the junior formula. It's big investment. So families make big sacrifices. My family made big financial sacrifices to support my career, but also many others helped me along the way. And so I had a lot of, let's say, small and medium breaks early on where just family, friends, people who saw the passion, determination, the dream, and wanted to help be part of that with me, helped me along the way. But then the big break came after I won the Indy Lights Championship, uh, partway into the start of the 1994 IndyCar season. Excuse me. And AJ Foyt called me out of the blue
Mm.
and said, Bryan, this is AJ Foyt. And I didn't believe him. I really thought it
Wow.
was my friends messing with me. Who had AJ Foyt calling you out of the blue on your bingo card, when you're early 20s kid. But he did. And he offered me the chance to come drive for him in 1994 at the Indianapolis 500. So that was my first IndyCar race. That was my big break. AJ gave it to me, which is sort of a fairy tale way to break
Wow.
in sport, on the top level.
That month you turned 24 years old.
I turned 24 that year, which I was young back then. Nowadays these kids are so much more prepared and they come in such an earlier age. But back then I was still the young kid. I was 23 when I started and turned 24 during that month of May. So, I think I always look back and AJ Foyt, was the guy. Even after I'd won the Indy Lights Championship, I didn't have a ride. I hadn't found a way to move up into IndyCar. And AJ was the one that took a chance on me and gave me my big break.
Wow. What was that like? You're sitting at the starting, you're in the driver's parade. You're, the green flag drops. You're 24 years old. You're driving for AJ Foyt. You're at the Indianapolis 500. I mean, good gracious.
Well, the drinking through a fire hose analogy works. You go from the longest race I'd ever done was Indy Lights, was 75 miles. And you go from that into the biggest race in the world and everything that goes with that. I hadn't even done an IndyCar race. I had no idea what to expect, what I was getting into. As a matter of fact, when AJ called and gave me the opportunity, I was nervous whether Indy was the right place to start. Like that's a big ask for a rookie driver to try and learn on the biggest stage. I actually called two guys. I called Bobby Rahal and I called Mario Andretti, guys who I'd met when I was racing Indy Lights and who obviously I had a ton of respect for. And I said, look, here's the opportunity. Is this crazy? Should I do this? And both of them said, look, you can't choose when your chance comes. You just have to take it and make the most of it. And, Mario especially, he said, look, I'll tell you like I was telling Mike or Jeff, uh, you know, and he just kind of talked me through the whole thing and made me feel comfortable with, okay, these veteran guys are going to accept me. They understand. They were rookies once. They know what it was like to be where I am on the outside trying to break in. And that was great. And that was actually, ironically, really the start of my relationship with the Andretti family as well, with Mario and then Michael, and a friendship with Michael that extended through the driving years and ended up with me driving for him and then being a partner with him and now my son driving on the Andretti global team. So it's funny when you look back how like one conversation was like the start of something.